10-year-old Cooper Dean of Valrico, Florida, entered into a Young Inventors contest and caught the attention of an international toy and game company with her idea to bring a farmland pastime to kitchen tables everywhere. In this episode of the Dandy Funhouse, we're gonna shovel into the game of Chicken Poo Bingo. Let's step into the funhouse.
Where am I?
You just entered the Dandy Funhouse.
Hello and welcome to the Dandy Funhouse. This is your home of retro pop culture, toys and games, and all the fun stuff. I'm your host, Neil Dandy, and in this episode, we're gonna shovel up something amazing with the game of Chicken Poo Bingo, and I'll tell you more about that in just a few minutes. But first, I want to show you these awesome Dandy Funhouse t-shirts. They look great. I designed them myself, so you know they're awesome. And they come with 4 holes in them. 1 to crawl your body into, 1 to stick your head out of, and 2 to poke your arms through. That's how we do it here at the Dandy Funhouse. It's got a front and a back so you don't get cold. Head over to dandyfunhouse.com today and see what's shaking, because it might be you. Oh, and while you're there, don't forget about our brand new shirt, Coffee Badger. Are you a coffee badger? Do you know what a coffee badger is? Tell me in the comments below, depending on what social media platform you're consuming this on. I'm just assuming you're on social media. I don't know. I'm a show host. What do you want from me? Badge in, caffeinate, badge out. That's how the Coffee Badger does it. Okay, back to the show. Chicken Poo Bingo. Cooper Dean, a 10-year-old girl from Valrico, Florida, was on a camping trip with her parents, and she noticed a game that they were playing at the campground with chickens pooping on a board with a bunch of squares in it. And it was called Chicken Poop Bingo. It's pretty obvious how it plays. You know, the chicken eats chicken feed, then it walks around on this game board, apparently in an enclosed pen, and it poops on different squares. And that's just like the bingo caller calling out the letter and number until somebody shouts, Chicken Poo Bingo! And they're the winners. She took this idea and worked on it at home because she liked it so much, using a toy wind-up chicken that pooped little pellets out. You've seen those things, the little kind that you get at the little dollar store. And she worked up a game that you could play at home that didn't require real poop. And she called it Chicken Poo Bingo. She didn't call it Chicken Poop Bingo, she called it Chicken Poo Bingo. She then took her new game, which she and her friends had a blast playing, and entered the People of Play Young Inventor Challenge, which allowed young inventors to present their ideas to big name companies. Well, one of these big name companies was Goliath Games. And if you haven't heard of Goliath Games, well, you should have, because you go back a couple of episodes here at the Dandy Funhouse when we were talking about the game of Greedy Granny, and I brought you the love story of Adi and Marguerite Golad. It's amazing. You got to go see it. Go back a couple episodes, check it out. I'll try to put a link to it somewhere in the description. But anyway, back to this. Goliath Games took notice of this game and they said, that's brilliant, it's amazing, we've got to work with this awesome girl. And so they did. They had Zoom calls and conferences and they cut a deal, and the result is Chicken Poo Bingo, which you can find on shelves all over the world now. All right, well, without further ado, I'm going to unbox this thing, assemble it, and we're going to figure out how to play this thing. It's just like bingo. You already know the deal here, but I have no idea what to expect when I start cracking into this box. I made it an intentional decision to not look at it too much because I wanted my initial reactions to this game to be what appears on camera. So let's crack into Chicken Poo Bingo. So as you can see, here's the box, and it's got great graphics. It's pretty self-explanatory. You never know where the chicken will go. They always do it great at Goliath Games. I got to tell you, it's an amazing company. A good graphic there. They didn't do anything special on the sides. They just kind of put the same graphic on every side, but it's an awesome graphic. So they didn't the sides. They kind of mailed it in and just kind of repurposed the front of the box. On the back, of course, the same as you always have with these types of things. You've got the kids playing on the back. And see, this silly chicken has to go so you can get bingo. In this fun farm-themed game, a chicken is in charge of which cute and colorful squares are chosen each round of bingo. Just wind it up and watch it go. That's right, the chicken poo tells you what to match on your bingo card. Crazy cows, fluffy pigs, and more are waiting to be chosen every game. Match 5 in a row and shout Chicken Poo Bingo to win and bring a blast of laughs to your family. And I did pick this up at Bass Pro Shops. The reason I picked it up at Bass Pro Shops is because it was the only store local to me that actually had it on the shelf. And I was running a little late on time. I just overhauled my whole studio here. And I didn't have time to order it online and wait for it to come. So hit Bass Pro Shops I did, and I paid about $8 extra than I would have had I ordered it online. But, you know, that's the price that I pay to bring you chicken poo. All right, let's open this thing and see what we got here. And since the chicken is wind up, that was a question I had. I was concerned that I was going to have to get batteries, but Goliath Games came through once again and made it mechanical and not battery powered, and they're really good about that stuff. So another big shout out, kudos to Goliath Games. Let's open the box and get our first impressions here. Dun, 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 dun. There is not much to see in that box, is there? It looks like a pretty empty box. It looks like I got ripped off. There's nothing in there. Look at that. Look at this. It's not empty, however. Just got to do a little creative digging here. We've got cardboard. Let's lose that. We have an entire sheet of poo tokens. We're not talking about Winnie the Pooh here. Oh, and here's different game pieces. This is kind of interesting here. Various game pieces with different patterns on them. Good branding on it all. It's kind of, it's paper. What else we got? We have our instructions here. We have a funnel and little nuggets of poop. Yay! Poop funnel. And we have a chicken here. Star of the show, our chicken. And our chicken isn't too bright. Chicken stuck its head in a plastic bag, which is not really advisable because there's really no air holes in there for the chicken to breathe. Well, and then we've got the game board. I like this already. And you know why I like it? Because usually when you see a game board that's this small, it's usually like you've got half of it, and then you've got two little, like a cut part, and then it flops open into a bigger board. And I hate that little quarter cut. I like it when it's just, you know, you open it. Now let's turn it around and see what we got. All right, it's colorful. You have a start square, and then I guess you just match up the different animals and produce, I guess. These have got to be the bingo cards that you hand out, and they must be because they're all different. They all have different configurations here. You know, you've got your poop and your funnel here. Well, the first thing, one thing's obvious. We got to fill up our chicken. Here you've got the chicken, right? And what you do is you grab it down here, probably not by the feet because the feet are motorized. So you want to grab it by the body and then just rip the head of the chicken off. And that's pretty much how you kill a chicken anyway when you're getting ready to pluck it for dinner. Then the poop tablets obviously go into pellets will go into this little hole right here. And I guess that's where the funnel comes into play. We're going to put the funnel right there. We're just going to drop pellets. I guess just make, you don't really need the funnel, but I guess it just makes it easier to load your poop pellets into. I'm having trouble getting all these in here. So, okay, I guess we're not going to load them all in here for right now. In our chicken head, there is a tab over here to the side, and there is a notch in the top of the chicken's body right there. You want to line those up. That way you don't mess things up here. And just kind of snap the chicken head back in. All right, instructions. Be the first to get 5 poo tokens horizontally, vertically, or diagonally and shout chicken poo bingo. Playing the game, the youngest player goes first. On their turn, players wind up the chicken about 8 rotations or until the gear feels taut, T-A-U-T, and set it on the start space in the center of the bingo game. Players may choose to place the chicken facing any direction. As the chicken wobbles along, watch for those poo nuggets to drop. As the chicken poo lands on the colorful squares, players should match them to their bingo cards and place a poo token on that square on their own card. You never know when you might get a chicken poo bingo. If no one has a chicken poo bingo after everyone has finished checking their cards, that round ends and play passes to the left. The next player starts the next round by gathering the poo nuggets and refilling the chicken and winding it up and placing it on the start space facing any direction. Players take turns refilling and placing the chicken on the bingo game board and checking their cards each round until one player has 5 poo tokens in a row on their bingo card. Okay, so you just keep it going. You keep putting poo tokens on your game card, and you don't take them off after each round. You just keep it going until someone gets it, like you would if you were actually playing bingo somewhere without poop involved. You know what? This is the second fecal-themed game that I've reviewed this year. But while I'm popping out poop tokens here, I'm going to tell you kind of how the whole game of poop bingo started. It actually started as cow poop bingo, for lack of a more family-friendly term. Out on farms, they'd make a great big grid pattern on the ground in the cow pen, and the cow would walk around and do what cows do, and people would mark off their bingo cards until somebody got the bingo. You know, and everybody would pay a few dollars to do the bingo game, and it would either go to support the farm or to support a local charity, or, you know, how those things go. Well, there was a musician who was playing at a bar, and he saw this game happening out on farms. And he presented the idea to his clients, the bar owners, of bringing in this game to their establishment, but adapting it instead of cows, because cows can't go to bars, chickens, which you could actually bring indoors if you needed to. You could actually set up a pen inside the bar and let the chickens do their thing. And $2 a head, the owners loved the idea, and it brought some additional revenue into the bar, and also charitable fundraisers and things like that. And so that's where our inventor sort of came up with the idea. Not that she's going out bar hopping with her parents, you know what I mean? She's no, she saw it at a campsite, not at a bar that let in 10-year-olds. Yeah. All right, now we're ready to play some chicken poo bingo. Okay, I'm going to shuffle these cards so I don't know which one I'm going to get here. I'll pull one from the middle. Okay, that's going to be my card right here. Youngest player goes first. Well, that would be me. So 8 turns on the chicken. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or until taut. It's tight enough. I don't want to screw up the winding mechanism here. So we'll just kind of put it here. Now, my big question is this thing going to walk in a straight line, or is it going to, you know, meander around in circles, which I would think it would probably be better for it to do. you know, it should be a little unpredictable. So here we go. It dropped one in the start space, on the border between the start space and on a line. I'm not going to count that one. We're going to go until this thing is tight. Oh, tighter. Try that. Start space. All right. Got eggs, tractor. Oh, I see that the poop pellets, they roll around. And they could roll pretty much anywhere as long as you're on a level surface. All right, I kind of get that. Okay, so the chicken has dropped on the tractor and the eggs. So do I have a tractor and do I have eggs? I have a tractor. I think everything's on each card. They're just in different formations. And I have eggs. Let's wind up some more. I'm just going to leave the chicken right where it's at. Oh, wait, and we got one on the dog. Where's the dog? Okay. I'm going to start it from right where it stopped. Oh, I'm out of poop. I got to rip the chicken's head off again. And the chicken does roll around. All right. I think you're supposed to clear the poop pellets off when it goes. We've already got our cards marked, so we don't really need to leave poop pellets sitting around on the board, because that could get in the way of the chicken walking around. So rip the chicken's head off again. Put our funnel here. Stop that. You know, chickens actually will continue to run around after you pull their heads off in real life. Don't ask me how I know that. They gave way more pellets than there's room for inside the chicken. And I think that's probably because they're expecting you to lose some of them. Okay, let's go back to the start here. And I am going to actually face the chicken the opposite direction this time. Go until the spring is taut. So when it said 8 turns, it probably meant 8 full turns. I'm getting a little more than that out of it. Okay, let's continue on here. Okay, looks like a bunny. What else we got? Barn. Donkey. Cow. Another one on the barn. Okay, so we've got the barn, the donkey, the horse. I'm assuming that's a donkey. Here, I've got the donkey down in the corner there. And that blue thing, I think it's a rabbit. It's from the ears. And we got to fill the chicken back up. And I think there's some that it's going to be tough to get if the poop rolls off the edge of the board. Well, the crease in the middle of the board, I think, is going to play a role in this, because there's like a groove here. And obviously, if pellets get in that groove, they're just going to stay there and they're going to roll left or right. But that also, you know, those are the chances that you take. Okay, I'm going to actually turn our chicken here to the side. Drop 2 right on the start. Piggy. Tractor. Okay, so we got Piggy that time. This takes a little while, doesn't it? Okay, Piggy in the corner. I think a good idea would be to start the chicken in different positions. I think starting the chicken in the middle start square, I think that's a losing proposition, because the chicken's not going to go much further than that, and you're going to really miss the opportunity of getting droppings into the corner pieces. So I think it's okay to start it at different spots on the board. I think you really have to do that. With that in mind, maybe we'll start this chicken on the hay bales over here. And it seems that wherever you start it, it's a pretty good idea that it's probably going to drop one there. But let's start it right there. See what happens. And it did not drop one there. It's taking its time. And it's about to leave that board altogether. Our poop chute is not opening. Well, that's no fun. Why is maybe the chicken head wasn't down all the way. Oh, start that again. Well, Oh, I hope I didn't over tighten it there. We got the lamb. We're on the lamb. Ah! And we went off the edge of the table. All right, so all we got that time was the lamb. This could take a while. I see why they give you a lot of extra poop here. I'll find that later. I think we'll start right here on the chicken in this corner. And of course we get the chicken. And a cow. Chicken and a cow. Cow and chicken. I love that cartoon. Ba-na-na-na-na. Mama had a chicken. Daddy had a cow. They put them both together. They didn't know how. I know that's probably not the way it goes. I think I'm getting really close to a chicken poo bingo here. Kind of tedious having to rip the chicken's head off every time. I wish there was a better way to load this thing, a faster way to load this thing, and I wish that you could just load it with all of the poop and not have to do this after every single winding. And it's really easy to lose all these little pieces. And I'll talk about that more in the wrap up here. Start it down here on this corner, which we have not started from yet. See what happens. Of course, we got boots. Bunny, kitty. I'm getting really close here on my game card. Oh! Look at that. Got the diagonal. Chicken Poo Bingo! And that's how you play Chicken Poo Bingo! Right, that was a lot of fun. I like the fact that it doesn't use batteries. Goliath Games is really good about not making me have to deal with batteries or get into tedious little compartments to, mess around with, loading batteries, which will end up corroding and things like that. You don't want little kids handling batteries and stuff. So having to recharge batteries if you got rechargeables. This thing, it's well made, it is, but the fact that you have to do that and you can kind of feel plastic kind of cracking under you and along the seams and things. Okay, well made. Maybe that was a little premature. I got to tell you, I think this thing, it's not going to hold up over the long term. But not only is it not going to hold up over the long term, I think the tedious nature of having to refill that with like just 4 or 5 pellets after every time is going to be so tedious that kids aren't going to want to play with it very long. It's like those little wind-up toys you get in your Christmas stocking. They're fun for a few minutes, then you get sick of it. I think kids are going to get sick of this game real fast. It's a great concept. I love the concept, but I think that this is not a game that kids are going to stay with and be playing all the time. I could be wrong. They could have a blast with it, but also you got these little tiny pellets. Is that a choking hazard? I don't know. It's so small. Kids are going to be playing around, littler kids. Are they going to find them all? Or are they going to put them away? Magic 8 Ball says not likely. I think there's just too much little stuff that's going to get lost. Paper thin tokens. Although it's a great concept. It's a great idea. A way to bring the fun of poop bingo, whether it be cow or chicken, to your dining room table, I think is a great concept. So how am I going to rate Chicken Poo Bingo here? Okay, on a scale from 1 to 10 chicken droppings, I'm going to give it a 7 because I love the concept. I love the backstory that this was an idea brought to a young inventors conference and then picked up by Goliath Games. I think it's awesome. Do I regret buying this? No, not at all. This actually was fun, and I'm going to plop this down at the youth room in my church and see what reaction I get, especially since we just had a flood in the church. So maybe some of the games I had up there might be ruined when I go in on Sunday morning. And this will be a nice new one, you know, when the poop hits the fan. All right, that's going to do it. Chicken Poop Bingo. If you'd like to keep me out of the poop house, please consider becoming a Dandy Funhouse supporter by visiting dandyfunhouse.com and look for the patronage page. On there, you can donate in a variety of ways. Buy me a coffee, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, whatever you want to do. Supporters get access to exclusive bonus features not available to the general public, and super supporters get those same bonus features. Plus, I will mail you something poopy from right here at the Dandy Funhouse Studios. If you provide your mailing address. Podcast listeners, you guys can usually donate via a little button in your podcast app, and it usually has a little $ on it, and that gives me cryptocurrency. I take cryptocurrency, bust tokens, belly button lint. Ooh, belly button lint. Don't send me belly button lint. And if you don't want to give me anything, a 5-star review anywhere you can leave it would be really, really appreciated because it helps the show grow. All right, that's going to be about it. I'm going to get the poop on out of here. You guys come back soon, right here to the Dandy Funhouse, where everything is always fun and dandy.
This chicken's gotta go. Can you get 5 in a row? Place a poo token on the free space in the center. Use the funnel to insert 5 poo nuggets, then wind him up and watch him go. This crazy chicken will start dropping poos all over the game board. When the chicken stops, check your card for any spaces that match where his poos landed. Then fill him back up and play again and again. Got 5 in a row? Shout,
Chicken Poo Bingo!
Created by the winner of the 2021 Young Inventor Challenge, Cooper Dean. Chicken Poo Bingo from Goliath.